Welcome back, guys. Long time no see. So today I decided that I was going to film a video that I kind of recently saw on Colleen Ballinger's channel from Rudest Celebrities that I met, but I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna talk about the nicest YouTubers that I've met in my experience of meeting YouTubers, because sometimes you just want to know who the nice ones are, you know? So you can have like a great experience like I did. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. So the first person that I'm going to talk about is, of course, Jen McAllister, aka Jen X Pen. I met her twice, once in 2018 and then once in 2019. So my experience were both just super beyond positive. Like, she was just so sweet and so down to earth. The first time I saw her, we kind of just like talked about like Twitter and everything like that, and she was just like so open to like everything. I was like, yeah, I flew here from Canada, like, and she's like, oh my god, that's so cool, like, I really appreciate that, like, thank you so much for coming. And then the second time I met her, same reaction. Like, we just like, she wasn't like just like rushing people to like finish everything. Like, she was like generally like down to talk to everybody. Like, this was at VidCon, by the way. Like, I think I talked to her for like 2 minutes and I just kept going and going, and like she was just so open to like talk and get to know me and everything like that. She was just like, yeah, I remember you from last year, like, how are you, like, how's everything? And I'm like, I'm so tired. And, you know, I like ran back, I'm like, I'm so sorry, I forgot to ask you to like sign my badge. She's like, it's fine, like, don't worry, like, I love to. I hate that security guards are like saying no to that. And yeah, it was just like the positive experience ever. I like cried both times after I met her. It was just the greatest experience ever. So the next YouTuber that I'm going to talk about is Andrea Rossett, and oh my goodness, one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my entire life. She was so sweet and so funny. When I met her, I like ran and she's like, oh my god, you're wearing my merch, like, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And she's like, what did I write on it? And then she's like, oh, I love you. She's like, thank you so much for like wearing this, I really appreciate everything. And then she's like, how are you, like, how are you doing, how's your VidCon experience? Like, just generally like open and not just be like, oh my god, let's take a picture, like, and get out of here. Like, these, like, both of them were just like so open to talk to us. And I was like, I'm so sick. She's like, oh my god, you're gonna get me sick. She's like, no, I'm just kidding. And it was just so nice. And then she's like, I was trying to like teach her how to do a pose, and she's like, oh yeah, I really thought it was like that. And she was just so sweet. Like, she's like, security guards are gonna get mad, but like, I'm gonna give you one last hug, is that okay? And I was like, oh my god, of course it is. But yeah, it was just so sweet, and she was so nice. The next person I want to talk about is Ricky Dillon. So I also met him twice. The first year I met him, he was one of the funniest persons I've ever met. I like went in line and I was talking to him when it was my turn, and I was like, I have a question to ask you, because it was the time like Ariana Grande and Demi Lovato's new song came out. I'm like, which song do you like better? He's like, girl, how are you gonna put me in this position? And he's like, I have to go with Ariana Grande. And he's like, wait, are you going to her concert? And I'm like, of course I am. And I'm like, are you? He's like, yes, girl. And we just sat there and talked about Ariana Grande and Demi Lovato. She's like, did you hear? He's like, did you hear Demi's new song? And I'm like, yeah, it was so sad, I just listened to it before. He's like, you listened to it here, girl? How are you okay? And like, it's just so genuine. And it's like, I felt like he was like talking to me like as we were like friends, kind of, like, if you understand that. Like, just such a sweetheart. And then the second time I met him, he was like I don't want to say he was aggravated because that sounds so mean, but he like really had to pee and he just really wanted to get out. He's like, listen, I love every single one of you, but I have to fucking pee. And but he's still so sweet. Like, he wasn't mean. Like, that's not what I'm saying. He was not mean. He just really had to pee and he was like, guys, I really have to pee, like, hurry the fuck up. But he was still like, I was like, I'm so sorry I'm so sorry I had to meet your meet and greet. He's like, it's fine, I don't care. But like in a funny way. He's like, oh, Alex is more important than me. And I was like, kinda. But I was like, can we get a picture anyway? He's like, yeah, of course, like anything. And yeah, so that was my experience meeting Ricky Dillon. Super, super sweet and funniest person ever. The next person I want to talk about is Christine, aka Simply Not Logical. This human being is Canadian, which already makes her the sweetest person ever. I've never met someone, honestly, out of all my experience, I have to say she was the kindest person I met. She was so shy, and I was like, she's like, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm from Canada. She's like, off the bat, she's like, oh my god, you're amazing. And I was like, yeah. She's like, we're from in Canada. And I was like telling her, she's like, oh my god, you're not too far from me. Like, how have we never ran into each other? And I was like, I don't know, girl. And she's like, I was like, I brought a flag. She's like, oh, you brought a flag from Canada? She's like, I already love you. You're so sweet. You're so kind. And I was like, girl, I'm supposed to be saying this to you. But it was just so great. She was so funny to talk to. We just talked about Canada and how I flew all the way. She's like, why would you fly all the way from Canada to meet me? You could have just came to my province. And I was like, I don't know where you are. She's like, girl, like, you have to try to find me harder in Ottawa. And I was like, I will. I'll try harder. She's like, but thank you so much for coming and wasting all your money to come see me. And then after that, I got to talk to her boyfriend Ben and her sister Jen as I was waiting for my friend. And I was like, what's your favorite part about blah, blah, blah? And he's like, oh my goodness, it's so beautiful there. Like, I love going there. He's like, you have to try to convince Christine to like let us go back. I was like, sure. But she was so sweet. I had like these weird picture ideas and she was so up to them. She's like, oh my goodness, I love this. And I actually was in her vlog because of it, and it was so heartwarming. I just loved it. Sweetest, kindest human being I've ever met. This next one brings me to tears because it was not a bad experience. It was not a bad experience. First of all, it was my fault, and it was also the security's fault. So I met Rachel Ballinger, literally one of my favorite human beings in the world. I watch her videos still to this day. So her meet and greet was so rushed by security. Like, when I say rushed, I mean 15 seconds you hug her, you hug the rest of them, and then you're out. Like, they were not letting her talk to anybody. So when I got to my turn, I like ran up and I hugged her. She's like, come here, like, give me a hug. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And then, you know, her family was there, like Bailey, Jessica, and Christopher. Why did I forget that? But yeah, so, and then I just like did such weird poses. I was like, I lost my pictures. I was really upset. And then I was like, bye. And I said bye, and then I left. I didn't say anything. I said bye. And then I left. I didn't give anybody a hug goodbye. I just left. What the fuck is wrong with me? I was so upset. I was like, why didn't I hug her goodbye? I felt like, I will post the video here. It was my fault because she was so sweet. Like, the minute I saw her, she's like, come here, give me a hug. Like, you'll see it in the video. And I really wish I had more time with her because, like, I love her so much. I just bought her merch. And I'm so upset, but it was all my fault and all security's fault because she was so sweet and she wanted to talk to everybody, but security was not letting her. And I feel like she said something about it. But hopefully next year I get to meet her again because she was such a sweet person, and security guards suck. And so do I. The next person I want to talk about is dang Matt Smith. Oh my goodness, this guy is fucking hilarious. So I didn't have a meet and greet with him, but he was like walking around the hall, and then he had a panel with Ricky, and a question was asked about like how did it feel to get like your first subscriber, and my mind went to, because he asked, the person asked dang Matt Smith that, and my mind went to scream out, your mother doesn't count. So that's what I did. He's like, oh, it was amazing. I'm like, your mom doesn't count, and like just laughter. And then after, he was like, by the way, I heard my mama does count. He's like, I want to talk to you. So he comes down stage and starts to freaking talk to me, like out of the, like he was just like, he's like, I thought you were so funny to say that. Like just gets off the stage after like the whole panel was done and just starts to talk to me. He's like, I thought that was so funny. Like he's like, don't worry, I took it as a joke. Like I knew you didn't mean it. He was like, how are you? How's your VidCon experience? And I was like, it's great, thanks. It was great. It was super, he was so funny. Oh my god, so like he literally just got off the stage to talk to me. Just like that. And I was like, he was so funny. Oh my goodness, I remember that moment. Funniest moment ever at VidCon, but such a hilarious human. Here's me editing. For the next clip, it's an outro, but I apologize for the noise in the background. I have no idea what the fuck was going on, but yeah. So that is it for today. If you want to see a part 2 of Sweetest YouTubers or Nicest YouTubers, give this video a like, and please subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. But that is all for today. I really hope that you got some like good vibes on these YouTubers because they were truly amazing. So without further ado, I love you guys so much, and hopefully I start posting again because I truly do miss it. And yes, I love you guys.